Time to grease the wheels.
Hey tankers, welcome back to another video from Twisted's Garage. This tank showcasing the ALVT. As you can see here, burst damage is really good. I think it's a very versatile tank. It can burst damage, take some hits. It's not a main defense, it's not a main DPS tank, so I like the versatility of it. The other factor I love on this thing is the traverse is on a dime with this, meaning that I can turn really easy, swing valve around, and then I'm just pivoting, and it's one of the fastest I've seen besides the AMX tank. Here you can see controlling the zone pretty much solo, the help of maybe one other teammate against 4 other, maybe even 5 at one point, enemy tanks, and we end up securing it. It is really clutch for me because I find myself in this situation more times than I'd like to admit. We're going to go over my gear layout and agent progression skills that I have enrolled right now, and then we'll get into some gameplay action. I bring about 4 videos into this that we're going to go over various different styles. This one right here again is you roll up and dump some damage. So I'm going to drop some grease here, boom, 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 throw out a shot, throwing grenades into the background. I love these things. I can't wait to upgrade them more. This tank has me very addicted. So now into the gear. This is longer range for oil, plus 12.4%. Again, it's just a gray one. I haven't unlocked the 2 blues. We'll go over that next time as my progression gets up there. This next one here, the grenades hit the target faster, so the trajectory, so it sends them out and lobs them out a lot faster. I like that. There's no delay in my contact with this grenade ability to the target. Now, this one's, to me, reloads the main gun faster, really how you explain it down there. It's my first green and stuff, so we're going to reload and be able to fire consistently faster. I like that approach. Right here, obviously you want more frontal protection. I did unlock the green there. That gives me a little bit more. Next video I'll showcase that, but more armor, better. It just gives cider armor with that first green upgrade. This one right here, I love this thermal vision. This is really good. Besides detection further and mini radar updates, which I constantly find myself going to in the match to help know situational awareness. This, obviously, mobility and stuff. I do have an upgrade for this one. I have unlocked the blue for this, but this one right here is plus 5% for forward and then 5% for reverse. Helps you with, the stick and move style of shooting that I do. Yeah, so this is the first agent skill. It makes your ammunition travel further, faster, to give you more accuracy over range. That's why I like this one. Here's a second skill that loads up at 600 points. Gives you faster tank response for the traverse and the hull to be able to spin around in the direction to, navigate and get onto your target a lot faster. Third skill we have here is your faster ultimate speeds. I love dropping. I call it the hammer. This just gives you a bit quicker to the Hellfire, to the standard missile that you can drop. And the fourth one here at 1500 points, this just cuts down on your reload penalty for down to 12.5%. Just makes your reloads faster when you're consistently hitting the target. And those agent skills, they add up as a match, and you get points, and then you get them each time. All right, so the first stage here, this is a choke point, which I've been explaining this tank is really excels at. So we're going to throw the grease out there. Anything that comes down, they're going to lose traction, slip, and most time that makes them swing out. So I can see and get vitals on the fuel tank, ammo racks. I really like it. As you can see here, I just unloaded some DPS. It's on fire. By the time he gets here, boom, eliminated, Got another target coming in. I'm I'm just staying at range. I get a little bumped by a buddy here. Unloading some shells. So medium range sniping. I might even consider this a little far range, but I have these total entry points locked up for base B. I really like how this tank can just do it. Here we are, energy's back up. We re-greased the area that I think, you know, they're coming down like this, and here we are again. Launch the grenades over there, it starts to fire, and boom, cascading effect, DPS, and we dwindle those hit points down. Speed up a little bit here so we can, you know, get between shots and stuff. Back here again, we're gonna grease up. We're just really repeating the cycle here as far as keeping this choke point locked up. So by me being one tank locking up this base, that frees everybody else up to do that. Now, if they're looking at the map and figuring that out, that's fine. But I see lots of blue around me, then I know that I'm doing my job. Now we have two tangos coming in here, and I'm still handling them really good. A third one comes in. It's just a phenomenal display of locking up what we would call a choke point. You know, it's just a narrow entry into an objective for them to take over, which is base speed. And we've locked it up, so this is a 3-base mission. They've just been out getting A and C. Our points are just staggering ahead. And I believe that it's because this B base is being locked up by me, myself. We do have some friendlies come in from time to time, use it through this, but I stay there. I decided to move now, and I've got B locked up, and I think nobody's coming back to it, at least the usual suspects. So now we're going to make our way to A. This base out here in particular is a marksman sweet honeypot, right? Because all the ground guys, or the main, you know, assault defense, they got to get to the middle. Marksman set up on the outside. You can check out my other video on the AMX and the sniper video about this spot. It is in that video where you just talk about how deadly this is for people to get in here without positioning. Now we're going to drop the hammer. Always on a heavy, no waste. Look at that, 75% of HP gone. It's beautiful. Launching the grease up there, make them lose some traction. Grenades right out after that. These things have distance too. I've taken out a lot on A already. They are doing it. I'm just backpedaling because the delay of me respawning and everything like add to lack of DPS and control. So even if I can keep them in busy, and I'm trying to stay out of the sights of the marksmen to my side, it fails. But hey, here's happy tidings to get into the next segment here. I like this spot. This is above A again. It takes me out of the marksman from the enemy line of sight, and now I'm just being able to just snipe up here. And look how far that grease goes. That's just an amazing thing. And there are buffs for that. I don't have it, but to make it even longer, you have to pick and choose. When I get them all unlocked, I'll make a video about, you know, the stats, and we'll have a discussion on that. I'd appreciate it too at this time. Anybody has any feedbacks on my videos and stuff, please use the chat, comment. It helps me create stuff that you guys want in future videos. So A is being locked up. Gonna traverse here a little bit, so I can prove to you, get up on this bridge a little bit. There's a 2FK with, you know, those missiles. They start locking down on me. You'll hear it in the side. Watch my HP dwindle. I have to back off this because I cannot take marksman scraps. They will eat me up. So now I'm back out of there, but I'm gonna auto heal, which is, you know, repair, and I'm still able to, you know, support my ground team at the base with my like Overwatch, you know. So again, back to the utility of this tank, and like I mentioned too, later on for brawling, I just love the traverse speed, or the way it traverses on a dime. It spins really fast. So we're just catching these guys, just, you know, going across the grasslands to try and get A back. Caught up in that smoke. At this time I didn't have thermals, but thermals will be good for the smoke. That would let you know that, you know, you can see infrared images and stuff. On to the next here. See these guys, I'm flanking at this position here before the base is open. This AMX, I spot him creeping in last minute, so I'm trying to cull the herd, as they would say, and trim off the weak ones, in my opinion, at least compared to my tank that I'm driving. And the base is loaded right now, you know. Hey, so I'm just trying to DPS these guys down. Always throwing the grease out there. I hated that skill. Now I started using the tank, and I love it. This AMX tried to get behind me, ambush me. Another great versatility. Look at this turn. Boom, right there. I get right there. I can put my front end right at him. You can see it ricochets off me, and that just keeps me as a little mini brawler, you know. He tries to ram me, but it ain't gonna do good. AMX packs a punch too, and he just could not out damage me. I was persistent there, and I love to showcase that little one-on-one when we get a chance to see other tanks go at each other, you know, because it's team-based. There's a lot of times you don't. Trying to get that guy, somebody else got him and stuck around. Now I'm trying to help capture the base, get some points there. Capturing seems to be a lot of points. So you want to try and get a base here and there. So this base is becoming overrun to me. I'm starting to freak out a little bit, taking some shots. This is not good. I got missiles coming at me, rounds coming at me. I can only dance so good, you know? But hey, happy times. Let's get back to it. Now we're back at A. We're coming from the other side, so this is just a different view from this. I just love those grenades. You can see the damage that they do. It's surprising that they do so much damage, and they're not even upgraded yet. I was glancing at some of the upgrades, and I'm really excited for the future of leveling up this tank. Here, so again, I had another video where I went back to, I forget what video it was, but I explained the artillery strike. But I was trying to dodge it, and here comes the M60. I couldn't do anything about it. He got me in the rear. Now, this base here, I love this hill. I call it the hill conflict. I gravitate out towards this rock settlement to try and get a flank. My apologies. You drop the ultimate up there, boom, nuke them, but again, an M60 is coming at me broadside. I now have upgraded equipment, not in this video, that protects my sides a little bit more, which sacrifices at plus 6%, I think, front hull. So here we are, grenades, throwing out the grease out there, set fire, I love it. It's the same as the napalm with the grenades going out. It's just, I love burning things. And I'm using the hill here. Another tactic you want to try and do is it lowers my view from the enemy, so they really only can see my turret or the top of it, but my view and my scope is able to target them. So now we're going to pretend to lock down this. There's a choke point, right? I know they're going to come around the corner of that or off the side. You can see me checking out the side there because I got put PTSD from tanks coming up the side. Here we are. They're just trying to roll up, but I got my team in here, so it's really looking good for us. We're trying to come back in this round. This round is, you know, controlling the position as long as we can, and the points will roll up. They're trying to, you know, flank us again, but man, this tank can just take some hits. I was under the assumption that it was on an M1 frame, but it wasn't able to take hits. But after playing it, it is probably my #1 tank right now. The T62 AV is a close, but I don't think it has the defensive capabilities. That is more of an offensive tank. If I had to just, you know, compare the two.
Time to grease the wheels.
So here we are. I'm just starting to light up these guys. Rockets, they do hurt. So I'm glad that person went down real fast. Grenades, disabling tracks. They're just taking huge chunks of change out of their HP. They're waiting. I get everything on cooldown, so I know I'm doing my job right. Ultimate's charging up. We're at 4 agent skills are active, so that's based off the point system that you get throughout, you know, your match. If you were wondering about that, and as you do better and get more points, and also if you do negative, it makes it harder to get those. So just rushing in is not a good way to get your, you know, point status for your agents, and they're cumulative over the match, so I believe that they make a huge difference. So we took that 1-1. Let's get some happy times before we get in the combat zone. I stopped for a second there because I'm letting the enemy get into the base more before I come up and end up pushing in, so I can see where they're at. Another great battle here because this base moves in offsets, some on the stairs and some on the flat over there, which gives you multi-level type fighting. I really hammered down on this. We're just controlling C right now. I got a couple of my buddies in the view I can see. One looks like a marksman, he's off the distance. The other one's right up here with me, trying to control this coming into C. So we're gonna move in, take C a little bit. So XM1 right there, we decide to, and we didn't talk about this, I'm not on anybody's team or anything, but I'm covering straight ahead as you can see there, and the XM1 is covering to my left, which makes it perfect. You know, that's how real combat scenarios come, when guys rush in and take over a space. Everybody in their line has a point of view they need to address. This way you don't have to worry about every point of the view. We're going to drop the hammer again here. Try to get that lock on that other one. I missed it. But as long as I got the heavy in there and the defensive tank who has the hit point pools, just throwing the grenades out there. They just, boom, firecrackers down the ground, take them out. I love it. So we're up 25% on this base right now, so everything's moving smooth. They're popping smoke to try and come in, and you're trying to get into a spot. Smoke is your best friend. It can hide your movement, like you can see here. I didn't take much damage, traded out some blows. This XM1 hit me with a rocket, takes some good chances, just trying to out DPS him. I don't have a way to communicate to XM1, I'm sorry I left your side, buddy. I couldn't handle the heat coming up. Now we're approaching on a different angle here, coming in from the right side. I took that shot, shouldn't have, because if you just see nothing but heat signature, that's not the complete silhouette of the tank, so you don't actually have it. That just means something's blocking your view. This guy poking out, trying to out DPS the OBJ. I'm playing cat and mouse with him. He decides to take off because he knows he can't out-damage me at that range. He's a pure close combat tank. You can see that as a scrapper. That's another video I have on him. I just love watching all that damage come up. Didn't survive it. Now we're coming up to another push on C. We gotta take this and hold it. We're almost at the point where it's overtime, but we need to get these guys off of here. And I'm just launching grenades into the smoke. It didn't really work out for me. I wanted to see the numbers. And here we go. This guy's trying to flank me, but he's marksman. He can't get that pivot on. That is just insane. He's being hit by fuzzer ultimate. Boom, down, back into the zone. We're still contested. Okay, we can see that. Whoa, M60 just rolled up on me. And boom, just doing him down, right? Throwing the glove. All right, we got all the combatants out of C. Now we're trying to focus on that. Drop the hammer. Boom, clears it out. I love that ultimate. It really just, it's a punishing ultimate. There's no upgrades for it other than the time switch between the Hellfires and the raw missile. And there we go. We dug it out, came back 2-1. Love those matches. All right, here we go. More happy times before we engage. There's another hold the zone. Best of 3. Throwing out the grease. We are trying to flank. Myself and this other tank here. It's another ALVT. And we're just dominating. He got picked off by the M60, which, you can't come out with 100%. Everybody was surviving. But we've taken the focus point off the main base, right? And drawn those guys off, so that would help our team there. We are down a man in this. You can see we patched that HCSVL as AFK for the whole match.
Time to grease the wheels. I've been marked.
Sometimes that happens. People get emergency and come up. I wish, we quit out the game just to, I don't know. It doesn't make a difference. But we're down the tank and trying to take this. I like to include these videos too, because it shows the struggle sometimes of -1 tank, what it can do. That was just a nasty crit to the fuel tank, but they got me in there, so it was a trade-off 1-1. Lots of fire, main base, holding A, trying to get us up. It's really exciting right now because it's really 5-4 right now. And it's our scout that's down, so he's not putting out probes or anything like that. We're flying blind. There's that T-62 just rails me in the side. Split off here. We're gonna try it again. Just keep repeating. I'm really stubborn like that, it's that definition of crazy, trying to do the same thing over and over and expect different results. And it's the same result. It's really crippling how much that one tank, down. You can see their meters coming up, last ditch effort. I'm going deep, trying to come up behind them, and it's not good enough. They take the round. We're still down a scout tank, especially on this base. We really need that. Back into it. Base is not open yet, but the DPS game has started. That's a great shot right there. Some burst DPS. And that's what this tank can do out of the box. We drop that hammer. I love this lock on. There it is. Throw it down. Boom. But I took a huge chunk of HP. So hopefully, in that sense, you can hope your team is going to cut them down. Here we are. I get this M60 out of it here, but it's their whole team. And yeah, I dropped the pickle, gentlemen. I don't know who to shoot, what's going on. I'm just being lit up. It's not good. Made me feel like that scrap ship they sail out, but they got to sink it when they're done with it, to create a natural reef in the ocean. But more on that another day. So they're pushed already, right? And this is how you know your team is really losing it. They're pushing towards our spawn. It's fun for me because no matter what, a battle's a battle. I get to practice, tactics and skills, but it does hurt to know you're down one teammate.
A bit heavy-handed, no?
And they're pushing up on you. But we fight back again. I'd like to point that out. 4 of us against 5, and we keep pushing on them. So I like this maneuver here. I love this spot on the hill. You come around that rock, and it'll let you just sneak peeks and stuff, especially with most of my skills on this tank are lobbing skills, which really makes it great to go over obstacles. You know, if you're in a pin down situation or something, and you don't have line of sight, you can still throw your special abilities over. And we lost 2 in a row right on there. Here we are with hold the choke point base with 3 bases, not choke point, sorry. I'm choosing A right now, that's where I'm at. That tunnel is a main throughway. I lay my grease down, we got A up. I like to travel between A and B on this map. I don't really mess with C, it tends to bring you in the open, and that's another marksman area if you don't have full support from your tanks. So I peek into B, and here they are, but I got an FE40 here backing me up. There is an AV, T62 AV next to us. You can't see him, he's a little bit out. He caught his bumper about 2 seconds ago, and he's lighting us up. That M60A1, he's got that charge ability, took us out. But back to B now. A is being taken over, but I want to secure B as best I can. Getting shot in the rear, rushed in, didn't really rush in, just got caught, put my pants down, that's really what happened. So here's C. I don't like C coming open, but I want to have this in here to show you. You can use the dips and valleys in the map. I got a ricochet there, that was real good. I don't know what tank that's from. I am getting shot. So I'm trying to, you can see, trying to stay down. And I'm going to dip down to the riverbank side here. Try to come around and, you know, use positioning on them. Throw the grease out there. Hopefully I can get them. It's got to be an M60 if it lights me on fire with an anti-tank missile. I think the Martyr does the same effect with its anti-tank missile. Now I can see I'm being sniped. The skull up there represents that person's gotten me before. So I gotta push. I can't sit back and wait because marksman will dial me in just like that. When you get to that point, you have a choice, you know. It's fight or flight at that time, and I chose to fight. And I got hit by mines. Should have realized here, this person played it perfect on the other side. Smokes, backs into a corner. I can't see anything. I don't turn on my thermal. That's a mistake on my point. And this person's just gonna drop the big Betty on us. And I'm like, oh no. Drop your linen and start your grinning, boys. So yeah, that's what happens there. We're gonna come back. Now I'm gonna go back to A because I don't want to go back to B. B is taken. So I want to focus my efforts on A. So here we go. Now he is in Raketa mode, so I know he can't brought down past 1 HP. I really don't know what to do. He's just traveling around. Everybody's firing on him. Just gotta wait till that runs out if it happens, but it didn't. The start up there, you can tell, guys, my joystick, it also makes it hard. It seems to be broken and wants to throttle up on me all the time. This is a real sneaky little fight here because I can't get him. Kudos to the OBJ 287 where it's low profile, but we drop it down. But I don't see hit points because you can see the smoke obscures my vision of any statal or vitals that I can see. I see another tank out there, so I'm like, all right, let's go back and try and see him. And I'm like, ooh, vanish, like a ghost. But it turns out you're gonna see, I'm gonna rinse and repeat. I see these tanks, at least everybody's covering an area. He's healing up. Where did that OBJ go? Like, I didn't see him get beat, and there he is. He was just hiding in the smoke. So I just be a little aggressive, drop down in there, use the smoke as my cover. We seal the deal on him. Free up the base, so now we can, you know, take it over, and you can see A is being taken over. We use the buildings to hide behind. The hill up on the other side is sniper, marksman, friendly. The grenade splash splash damage. It's not much, but man, it just looks like it adds up. And it does, because it does a lot of track damage, makes it slow. And now they're pushing hard at us. I lost a buddy. Somebody else rolls up. It's an M1E. It's a shield. OBJ is coming down. We just can't. It's 4-2, and they had the favor. So here we are, back to B. I didn't know it was being taken down at that time. So there we get some free, base capture points, experience. Now I'm on the wrong side of the stick. I find this guy here. It's the 2FK. And then I realize, he's taking off. He's not even moving. So I'm not going to waste another shell. Again, I've talked about this in my other videos as well. Don't waste that DPS. I know he's gone over to that other Leo over there. We kill that, and then the decoy proxy, as they call it in that, is gone. So there's no switching there. And if he did switch, I would have had one shot left on him. There was no hit points left on his proxy. There's that pivoting. I love that. This is a pretty cool moment here. We're going to take over A. I love this XM190 here, and the fellow Kent driver shows up, and we're just waiting. Once it says capture, we pull off. We're going to get B. It was a really cool feeling. Anybody, again, throw me a chat. I play. We can organize some stuff. I'd like to start doing some teamwork. We can at least organize, some playtimes and stuff like that. I like to group up. Sometimes I don't group up. It's just because I have kids, wife, everything, and some things are just going on. I'm either in my last round, I know, or something like that, so I'll be able to group up. But you can throw me chats and stuff in here, and we can organize stuff. That's part of the purpose of this channel, too, is start creating a community, of people. We're going to get into other games and stuff like that, too. Call of Duty, the Star Wars Zero Company's coming out. I'm excited for them and do some streaming on that game. Here, this match, we got defeated. It was close. It was a good battle. Here's the Desert World, came out in the last patch with the 2FK tank. It's a pretty cool map. I love running the dunes and stuff. Gives you a lot of options. Right here is a great display of this tank's ability to solo and handle people. I used it at the beginning, but you saw it, the strap apart. But now we're in the actual footage, and it's just decision making, right? I decide to fire and move. That person got a longer, it's a marksman that's got a long delay on his shot. This guy, just keep going, but I get rear end shots, and boom, we get that. I do have some assists. There's a guy in here, but two guys just holding down. We took out about 4 or 5 targets here to capture this base. I'm on fire. That guy's trying to tag me. That's the Martyr Series fuzzer over there. So he's really not being able to boom. And we secured B. I really love that. Do a little bit of fast forward in here just to get us around the action and waiting time. We're going to come to another clutch part where this is where I proved some more. Man, this is some sick burst DPS. We're going to come in. I blind fire off on that guy while I'm running. We're going to throw the grease out. Going to tag this guy here. He gets blown up. Throw the grenades in the back. This is just spreading out my DPS love. Boom, cannons in the ready. Look at that. We just wiped out that base and took A. I love it. And that's proof right there. That guy's just driving by. He doesn't see 2 enemy tanks here. You got to keep your head on a swivel when you're out there, tankers. You never know who's sitting on another side, especially now they have the HSTVL can mask signatures and the 2FK series, they can mask their signatures. So sometimes you don't rely on that outline of a tank all the time. You got to really be looking around. We went and took over that base. Now we're back to A. This person just doesn't know where they're being shot from. Fire into the smoke, get a lucky hit. I can see the silhouette. Ammo crit right there. It just did 1,000 damage to that thing. And that's a heavy. That's XM1. They're just overtaken. You know, but I put my DPS in. Then now we're going to concentrate on B. Ooh, I just escaped that ultimate from the... I think that's the Reaper guy with the napalm. Another happy day. Here we go. C. Starting to take it over. Another push point here. This is going to be some stick and move here. I'm staying out of the fire. They don't want to come in, but I have the base, right? That's the point. Why am I going to go out there and chase them? I got to come back into me, and I'm trying to force them to come back into me. I definitely can see on the mini radar at this time that I have an ally on the other side. Now 2 allies. Trying to drop the hammer here, seeing my limitations, but he gets under just in time. And he's pushing, but he's getting countered from the right side. You can see him on the mini map and stuff. So choke point operation here, basic. Throw the oil down, it'll stay. Fire, and I freak out a little bit with the red under here, but then I realize I got a roof over my head, so artillery is just futile at this point. It's not going to reach me. And we're just holding C. You can see the points. You know, we're holding 2 bases out of the 3. Our points creep up faster than their points. Checking out all the points and stuff, seeing where everybody's at. I can see that red dot behind me. And they're coming from the right side. This is where that one perk will teach you, you know, the radar blitz comes a lot faster for you and stuff like that. But from behind, I got snooked. And they got my fuel tank. We won that one, landslide. Last match, we're going to go over here. The Coliseum. I love this one. You feel like a gladiator in this thing when you're fighting. Here we are flanking. I love it. We come out on the side again. This guy just doesn't know what to do. He chose the wrong path that day. We're going to push after this outside like this. And we flank him right in the side here. And I love that the other guy was smart enough to know that that's what we were doing. And he continued following me here. Because we really take over this base by coming through and punching. We punch this team right in the side of the head. I prefer to take out the back row of the marksmen. They do the heaviest damage with the DPS, but they go down the fastest. And it just worked out. He took out the heavy. They at least scared him off the target. So now we can take over the base. There's little sand dunes, you know, gravel pit. That's the construction site going on here. There's a choke point coming in. We try to get him on that way. This guy's just running and gunning. He's not in the right tank for that. M1, E1 broadside of me just got taken out. Going back to the stadium. Now we use the thermals. We have this upgrade. I love it. Smoke's out. They can't see anything, but I can see. Here we are, right? The only bad part is I never know when the smoke's up, so I'd rather use the visual like you can see there. When I throw the grenades, the thermal doesn't carry over, so you get a glimpse at I knew the smoke was down, so I really like the real vision, you know, true vision versus the thermal. But in the smoke, thermal kicks butt. Side relay action. We got our full team here. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna push them off A. They are dominating us at this point. Try and drop the hammer on this guy.
This is why they pay me.
75%, but the team's faded out. We just got out DPS on this. We lost that. Now we're under, right? 0-1. This is probably one of the. I find this base spawn on the control point maps to be tough. So I came around a corner looking through my scope, trying to get me a little better thing. I end up with this guy again, another flanker. I think he's the same guy that I had before. Maybe you watched my video on flanking. We scared that guy off. I chased a little bit. He's backpedaling. And we just light him up. Grenades, everything else. And I'm going to try and ram him. It does not work. I can't find the weak spot right there, not in time. And he gets me with a big cannon. Try to push up this hill. This is a choke point for us. Went up a little too far, backpedal a little bit. Don't have a heavy up there. There's our M1, E1 sitting in the back sniping. Now maybe he just knows not to push so hard. But he got the creep out, which we got to be creeping with it right behind it. This will help us take over B. They're just up on points, and we're digging ourselves out of the whole match. Not sure why that guy was pushing into that guy, but he helped us out, jammed his own buddy up. I missed a couple shots. That's detrimental to the DPS global output for taking over this base. And we've been just digging ourselves out of this hole, trying to. We catch this guy broadside. He backpedals out of it, doesn't get caught into it. And then E1's coming up. This guy's going to throw down creeper on us. He does get in the grease, but it's not enough. And then I'm in the front. I actually survived this, but everybody behind me gets taken out. It is going to lead to our demise. Can't handle this. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. I hope everybody learned something and got something from these videos. I appreciate it. I hope everyone has a great day.